we create reality, everything's beautiful and perfect and rainbow and butterflies in ourselves, then we'd be in heaven. We would have no reason for incarnating in this physical. So it's all about finding a balance. Like, a lot of religions teach, spiritual battle, and there is like truth to that, but there's also an aspect that I feel like is not discussed, which is spiritual balance. Like, as humans, it's so important for us to hold a balance between these energies, because change is the only constant in the universe. To live in the physical realm, you have to have positive and negative. It's just is how it is. And these work in an interdependent relationship, constantly changing and shifting, just as the nature of reality is changing and shifting. And as humans, to find balance in that, we have to have balance in ourselves. Spiritual balance. Balance, balance, balance. Here is a human and their aura, okay? And then here is like the collective energy of humanity. Imagine it as like a sea and ocean, and there's like all these different people, right? But this is like an individual. So let's say that this person is not in balance with their own energy. They're out of balance. And then let's say that this person is also out of balance. And then just all these people are not in balance with themselves. Meaning they don't know themselves, they don't understand themselves, they don't feel at peace within themselves because they don't understand their conflicting energies. What happens over a period of time of this? Oop, the whole sea of energy is now out of balance. So now we have war and famine and poverty and, probably more war. All these things are connected, right? But where did it start? Did it start at a global scale? No. It started here with one individual, and then another individual, and then another, and then another. And then the energy was so out of balance that it became manifest on the physical plane. I see a lot of people talking about how they feel exhausted, they feel stressed out, they feel anxious, they're not at peace within themselves. And that is completely understandable, because this is what's happening in our energy field. So, of course, a lot of people are going to feel not right because this is not right. This is not in balance. And we're all connected, so each individual feels this imbalance. So the question that I think we could ask ourselves is, how can we become more balanced? How can I become more balanced? Me personally. Because if I become more balanced, then boop, and then everywhere I go, I'm carrying that balanced energy with me, and then that starts to impact. And then soon you have all these people becoming more balanced. And then soon, all of this starts to just naturally balance itself out. Because that's how energy works. The question I'd like to propose is, instead of having a spiritual battle, can we work towards having a spiritual balance? And what could a world with more individual balance look like? I used to think that, I can't be at peace because the world's not at peace. But really, me being at peace is what creates peace in the world. Because it starts with one individual human becoming a portal for peace to manifest physically.